Today we're going to share with you some fabulous literature that we found on the internet this weekend. It's entitled Family, Foundation, Future, Support 377A.
To pastors and leaders.
At Summit 2013, we talked and prayed extensively about the homosexual issue and its negative impact on the moral future of Singapore. If we, the church, remain part of the silent majority, it's time for action. We must register our strongest, unwavering support for 377A of the Penal Code. To facilitate action, we have put together a simple guide to giving feedback for your wise and discerning response. But first of all, please note the following guides and recommendations.
Remember, people who practice alternative sex are not our enemies. Each one is precious to God, a human soul of inestimable worth. We are moved with compassion for them. We must reach out to them to show we love and we care. This is our posture. This is the spirit of Love Singapore.
This guide is not meant for mass distribution to everybody in your church or everybody you know on planet Earth. The reason is simple. Not everyone will understand the rationale behind what we do. Not everyone will be sympathetic. This is to be expected.
Therefore, it is very important for the pastor to first identify an action group, comprising the like-minded and the aligned. Those who wish to give feedback to the government, who need advice on how to go about this in an acceptable manner, through the available channels. We must approach this with tremendous grace. No one should feel that they are forced to take action blindly or against their will. We must emphasize that through this exercise, we are helping the silent majority in the church to speak up courteously and courageously, as we are already encouraged by the government to do so through official feedback channels.
Distribute the soft copy or hard copy of this guide only to like-minded, willing participants identified as your action group. The pastor may want to streamline the feedback process. For example, decide which among the action group will write to which minister or feedback channel, and decide on the sequence of communication, meaning the timing of when to send what feedback to whom.
To maintain a good standard, the pastor may want to appoint a staff member or a leader to vet and edit the drafts. This exercise can be done during the face-to-face closed-door session.
Some pastors may feel they are ready to address the issue from the pulpit. If need be, invite the like-minded and willing to a closed-door session as soon as possible, so that all details of what and how to give feedback can be safely shared. Keep a record of attendance. This will be useful for future mobilization.
This guide will be updated from time to time. Please send your input to the Love Singapore office. We encourage each church to appoint a contact person whose job is to collate feedback, reports, or queries, and coordinate or liaise with the Love Singapore office on all related matters.
Finally, be extremely prayerful. Seek the Lord together. Ask for greater compassion, a singleness of heart and action, listening ears and instructed tongue.
Support 377A. What to do?
What to do? A simple guide to giving feedback. Here is a quick and easy first step for Facebook users. 1. Post a status update on your own page, like, I support 377A. 2. Like any pro-377A statement you see on your newsfeed. This simple action makes a difference. On Law Minister Mr. K. Shanmugam's Facebook page, look for his post dated 4th January 2013 at 11 p.m. Click comment and state your support for 377A. A simple one-liner would do. Something like, I support 377A.
Here's another way you can immediately act on your convictions. Write a simple note in support of 377A to any one of the following: Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, Deputy Prime Minister Teo Chee Hean, Cabinet members, or your MP, or the feedback unit. Pay your MP a visit at the Meet the People session to personally express your concerns. Ask him or her to bring the issue up with his fellow MPs or with the minister in charge of the issue, or whoever is best placed to address your concern.
What to say?
I'm writing to state my support for 377A. It is a good and right law for Singapore. Don't change it.
We are writing as concerned parents. Do we realize that if we repeal 377A, Singapore will become a sexually permissive, Society? Is this the kind of Singapore that we will be proud of and want for our children? No way! Don't tamper with 3778.
I am young and single. I am writing because I shudder at the way society is going today. Do I ever want to get married and have children and then put them at the risk of growing up in an immoral culture that legalizes alternative sex? It will be extremely difficult to feel at home in Singapore. I say no to repealing 377A. No.
I have homosexual friends. I do not discriminate. I care about them. I have noticed a pattern in other countries. Repealing laws like 377A leads to the legalization of same-sex marriage. I do not support same-sex marriage. Change 377A and down go our core values. Down goes the family and down goes Singapore.
I wish to register my point of view that gay and lesbian behavior is unnatural. Same-sex marriage is wrong. It must not become the norm in Singapore. It bothers me that we even give a court hearing to people who challenge 377A. Please protect Singapore. Please leave 377A alone.
377A must be our moral standard. We are Singapore. We do not have to copy the West. Change does not necessarily equate with progress. Morally, we are becoming lax. We must not push our nation any further down the slippery slope of immorality.
I am a teacher. Repealing 377A means that one day our children in all schools will be taught that homosexuality is the accepted norm. MOE says we must emphasize values and build character. By granting a court hearing for the repeal of 377A, we are effectively undermining our national efforts to build character. I am very disappointed. Educators must make a stand to uphold 377A. It is about molding the future of our nation.
What is family? One man as a father, one woman as a mother, in a marriage relationship, and the children they bring into the world from their union. That is the Singapore I was raised in. I have not known anything else. Why repeal 377A? It is sure to destroy the family, this most basic building block of our society. Any change to this core national value is suicidal. We must preserve 377A at all cost.
The voice of LGBT is growing louder. If they succeed in repealing 377A, this will lead to a loss of religious freedom as seen in other countries. Out goes religious harmony, something so unique to Singapore. It's crazy. We build with one hand and destroy with another. Do the right thing. 377A must stay.
As parents and responsible citizens in Singapore, we are very disturbed by recent reports of sexual acts posted on the internet. Teachers having sex with their students, sexual acts performed in public areas, etc. We worry about this growing trend of sexual liberalism, and now we want to repeal 377A. This will only result in even greater sexual liberalism and an erosion of core family values. Please, do not allow 377A to be repealed.
We are heartened by recent government efforts to promote family formation. We hear such assuring words. Family values must be the starting point, and I hope young people here will agree with me that they want to have their own families because they enjoy growing up in a loving environment, that they also want to carry on and bring the love to their children and future generations. And these are the words of Miss Grace Fu, Minister in PMO, at an outdoor dialogue with residents in UT. However, we watch with dismay the concerted attempts by certain groups to repeal 377A. Any change to 377A will undermine the family, the foundation, and the future of this nation. Do not change 377A, please.
The government has made considerable efforts in the last decade to reinforce the family as a core institution in Singapore. There was even the Public Education Committee, chaired by Mrs. Yifu Yishun, to make recommendations towards this end. There was even the Public Education Committee, chaired by Mrs. Yifu Yishun, to study and make recommendations towards this end. We are totally baffled why 377A is even allowed to be challenged in court. If 377A is repealed, the family as an institution in Singapore will collapse. We will no longer recognize the Singapore that we and our founding fathers have worked so hard to build. We must resoundly reject the repeal of 377A. Do's and don'ts.
Don't use similar templates and standard scripts. Our sample texts are meant to give you an idea of what you can say. So remember, it is very important that you express your concerns in your own words.
Don't write long-winded complaints. Keep your letter short and succinct.
Don't use church or religious rankings or titles. Write as a concerned citizen, a parent, a teacher, a student, a doctor, a homemaker, etc.
Don't use the church email address. Use your personal one instead.
Don't procrastinate. Write when the issue or event is too current or soon to take place.
Don't presume you know it all. If you are meeting your MP or you're invited for dialogue, ask your pastor for guidance or more resources to prepare yourself well.
Don't forward emails as this will leave traces of the contact chain and thread of the conversation from previous writers. Always write a fresh email after extracting the relevant content from previous email.